Karen doesn't know who owns the lake. And can we vote her out with fishing pole? But the real blow came at the next board meeting. Karen,
Play a bit of strongest. Give me a little, guys.
To dissolve the existing fishing club lease due to hostile terms. She didn't know I was in attendance.
I am right now just getting set up for the morning.
Just FYI, this meeting is being recorded for my legal team. You can hear a mosquito cough. Karen, I continue. The lease was signed under HOA authority and requires a 60-day written termination notice with documented cause. You've neither, so if you pursue this, it'll be breach of contract. Phil looked like he wanted to melt into his chair. Another board member muttered, "What were you even doing?" under her breath. Karen tried a save face. Well, she sniffed. Perhaps the spirit of the lake has been compromised. I replied, "Funny, the only thing compromised is your understanding of property law." That got a snort from the back. The motion didn't pass, but the damage was done. She'd overreached. She dragged a beloved fishing club into the feud, and now even her allies were side-eyeing her. Phil later emailed me a half apology and asked if the Sunday slot was still available. "Only if you bring donuts," I replied.
Okay, let's start
and
this
tell
up.
Karen the lake says hi. Let us know
Let's beat some people down. I'm playing a little, so let's see if I got my skills still.
We want to hear it.
I'll be using Swordmaster stream.
Karen went dark for about 72 hours. Then she came back with vengeance and a new tactic: surveillance. I first noticed it one morning while drinking coffee on my deck. A faint metallic glint in the bushes near the shoreline. At first, I thought it was trash. Where was my house? It wasn't there. I mean, came back. A hand was not I stared at the hole, wondering if I'd wandered into a suburban room. And at last,
We're gonna start this off like this, aren't we?
That weekend, I caught the sound of something else. I looked up, and sure enough, there was a walking over my boat like a robotic hummingbird. I followed it with my eyes.
Well, excuse me, he floated.
And hovered directly above Sovereign Drift before zipping off toward Karen's.
I'm the only Swordmaster here, buddy.
Peeking through the I called FAA reported the intrusion, but not before I uploaded that message. Karen entered the comment section exploded. Someone photoshopped a drone with a Karen wig. Another dozen dramatic music and spy narration. It was petty. It was beautiful. Then came the wildlife. It arrived in my mailbox on full official. It warned recent people like
people going to AFK more.
To prevent disruption. It read like a bad science fair project. Bad language, no science. Hadn't been seen in our county for 10 years. It was signed by Dr. Martin. A quick Google. No PhD. No credentials. No not even a local bird watcher. So I dug deeper. I contacted the local fish and wildlife department. Asked if they authorize a survey. In fact, they confirmed that the only official wildlife issued that year and snails at the public program, 10 miles away. The investigator I spoke with, Chuck, "Hey Karen, that's a new one. Wildlife report absolutely. That's considered interference. Challenge accepted. I called in a favor from a friend in the county clerk's office. Within 24 hours, I had the smoking gun. Scan permit request form from Karen's personal email. Use apply for drone flight access to residential dock. Citing communication Then I emailed it, CC to the entire HOA.
Saved his life. That man, you better respect me for that.
This is getting out of control.
I took the blow for like that.
Even Karen's usual silent neighbor, Steve, thought I was paranoid for him to take over my webcam. Turned out that week, special board meeting, the agenda, unauthorized
There's no answer to the question. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to talk about.
Two board members openly tucked discreetly into the middle of the agenda, very optional for this channel. Proposal for revising voting eligibility based on property. Translation: Karen was about to try and she was because I rented out my vote.
That's no fair! That's no fair! Hey, you got done dirty! What'd I do?
I stood with the red sharpening rope. So this is fascism now. Before RSVP attending, the meeting was held in the community clubhouse, Karen's natural habitat. Fluorescent lighting, passive-aggressive baked goods.
But what'd I do?
With cult-like precision. Karen stood at the front.
Oh, Chips is on.
Her signature power cardigan button with evangelical intensity and began.
Play better
We want to ensure
pressure.
voting reflects those with a true stake.
Play pressure.
She handed out a flimsy, anonymous paper ballot to each person and said, "All votes are confidential."
What should
That's when
I
I
do?
raised mine. That's when I raised my hand. Quick question. I said loudly enough for the whole room to hear. How many votes were already submitted before this meeting started? Karen froze for a split second. Just long enough for the room to catch the hesitation. That's not relevant, she snapped a little too quickly.
I'm trying to play
The
Dead
murderers had
Rails.
already
There's so
started.
many options.
Suspicion was in the air, heavy as mildew on an unwashed deck chair. You could practically see board members shifting uncomfortably. Denise, the HOA's vice president and designated fine print assassin, tapped her pen against a folder and said, "Actually, it's very relevant. According to section 7.3 of our bylaws, all member votes must occur during an official meeting in view of membership." Her tone was icy, like a guillotine
Lena.
sliding in place. Karen fumbled with her paper.
Wanna play
We
something?
interpreted that language to allow preliminary voting. It's flexible depending on community needs. Phil muttered under his breath.
Okay.
Flexible like a broken lawn chair. I stepped forward. So to summarize, you created a new voting class, redefined eligibility, and stacked.
Oh, go ahead. Go on Cloud too.
Karen's face tightened.
I'm right now live.
It's about
I'm on live right
protecting the
now.
spirit of the community. Steve from the back of the room called out, "Since when does spirit mean?"
I really don't mind because you're.
Karen realized she was.
I just still love the profile.
She resorted to the
I didn't even know there was a
classic
cake.
Frantic scrambling, she started citing non-existent subclauses. At one point, She even tried to reference an emergency neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get Broken Dragon in here.
Nobody had ever heard of because she made it up on the spot. That's when Denise dropped the hammer. She pulled up a copy of the HOA's original incorporation.
You know Broken Dragon drew my profile, right?
Karen, your proposed change requires a 2/3 member majority. Not just a board majority and a public ratification period. Even if every person here voted yes.
If you would like to join in, you have to add me first on Roblox.
Karen's mouth opened and closed like a fish stranded on the dock, sensing blood in the water. Bill stood up and made a motion. I moved to declare this proposal no and void.
My Roblox username's on reality.
Process. Seconded immediately. Voted unanimously. Karen's fake secret ballot died right there. Face down next to the stale.
Might turn that down.
But the real cherry on top, someone no one admitted who.
That is my grandpa.
Rules of order across the table.
I realized I was muted. That's my grandpa.
Taped to the front cover was a post-it note for when democracy confuses you. Karen didn't say a word. She just gathered her papers, shaking so badly that half of them slid off the table.
You'll hear me from two
without
things.
making eye contact with anyone. Her heels clicked a sharp, angry rhythm as she disappeared into the night. From that day forward, no one trusted Karen.
But I need you to add me first.
Ballots, or even organizing the neighborhood potluck RSVP list. The final kicker, a new amendment was passed at the very next meeting. All HOA voting procedures.
I'm gonna stay muted down on reality.
Verified by independent oversight, and it was unofficially nicknamed the Karen Clause. I went home that night.
So my voice doesn't bounce back.
Watching the moonlight ripple across Sovereign Drift.
Do you want me to tell you my username?
Somewhere deep in suburbia, I swear I heard the faint, bitter screech of a clipboard hitting a trash can. It started as all Karen catastrophes do, with one unhinged idea executed with breathtaking title. A week after the secret ballot debacle, I noticed footprints on the dock, not just the usual muddy smudges from fishers or curious raccoons. These were sneaker.
I'm just waiting on you to add me.
Human, and they stopped at the padlock of my dock gate, which now hung at an awkward angle, pried open with what looked suspiciously like a flathead screwdriver.
Okay.
I'd seen enough to know someone had tampered with it, but I
Oh,
didn't realize
hello,
how
welcome to
deep
the
the
stream,
rabbit hole
Sunday.
went until I checked my
Sunny.
security cam footage from the boathouse. There she was, Karen Delaney, in her floral sun hat and HOA windbreaker, crouched by the gate.
Sorry for my mispronunciation.
She wasn't alone. Her equally nosy lieutenant, Carol with the Gnome Complex, hovered nearby, holding a clipboard like they were conducting a break-in-themed scavenger hunt. Karen jimmied the lock with the grace of a raccoon, wearing gloves, while Carol took photos of the boat, dock, even the kayak rack. And then, oh sweet irony.
Oh, you got it?
Karen turned to the camera, squinted and waved, like she was on a Sunday stroll, and not committing trespass on a private dock. Now, I could have called the sheriff.
Is he able to add me?
I could have filed charges. But sometimes, life hands you something even better than justice. Witnesses. Enter Channel 4 News. See, that same morning, I'd agreed to an interview. After the viral
was he able to get me added?
Around online, the hair and hose, the secret ballots, the drone drama, a local investigative reporter named Jenna Hart reached out. I love a good neighborhood power struggle.
Is he able to add me?
Phone. Yours feels like a Netflix pilot. She and her cameraman had shown up early, planning to do a basic walk and talk by the dock, but instead, they arrived.
It should be like
I'll never forget Jenna's expression when
here's my character
on my laptop. Is she picking the lock? In daylight, the cameraman who'd been setting up his mic stopped.
Should be named Inky. Is my nickname right now.
I grinned. You get this exclusive.
Try putting Inky.
Seems fair. The next evening,
I need to swap that over. I forgot about I did that.
Lake rights, drones, and a dockside intruder. The footage played in full, slow motion replay and all. Karen trying to jimmy the gate. Karen rummaging through the kayak.
Yeah, I kinda did.
Karen straight up peering through the cabin window of the Sovereign Drift.
But
like she
Inky.
expected to find a meth lab instead of a tackle box. Then came Jenna's voiceover.
Sorry.
When neighborhood disputes go too far, the result isn't just trespassing.
Pop up.
Shattered like a cheap padlock. It was cinematic. It was savage. It was glorious. Within minutes of broadcast, my phone exploded. Messages
Did it
from
not?
co-workers, even my college roommate who I hadn't heard from in 6 years. Bro, is that the Karen? Did she really break into your dock?
Here,
Can I come visit?
put your username in
Place
chat.
is nuts. Karen,
I'll add
of course,
you.
tried spinning. She sent a neighborhood-wide email that began with, "To those who feel misunderstood by local media, remember that protecting a community often means making tough calls." She accused the news crew of selective editing, me of stage managing a narrative for personal gain. He replied with just a bit of popcorn. Steve, God bless him, responded, "You waved the camera, Karen." The fallout was swift and delicious.
Annoying dogs.
The board convened an emergency meeting. I didn't even have to speak. They reviewed the footage, the HOA bylaws, which explicitly prohibited trespass on private property, and Karen's long, meandering offense that somehow invoked Theodore Roosevelt, sacred geese, and a gut feeling.
What's your profile look like?
At one point,
what's your character?
Said, "She's quoting Roosevelt now. Should we call someone?" The board passed a motion to suspend Karen indefinitely from all physical inspections and on-site HOA visits. Karen wasn't spared either. She lost her enforcement.
Does you got a nickname right now?
Clipboard was temporarily retired for review. The best part? The local sheriff's office sent Karen
I'll see
a
it.
warning letter. No arrest yet. The sternly worded document that will live forever in public record, detailing her unauthorized access to private property. Should further trespassing occur, these charges be filed. And as for me, I printed out the warning letter, laminated it, and mounted it on the dock gate.
Ow.
She tried to break in. Above it, I hung a tiny plaque. "Smile, Karen." It's still on camera. The sovereign drift rocked gently in the water that evening.
Did you accept my friend's request?
Surrounded by tranquility. No drones. No surveillance. Yes,
there we go.
It'll build trust, encourage engagement.
Much better up here.
Eco-conscious leisure with families who can't otherwise afford watercraft access. Phil coughed. It's a lake, Karen.
Sorry guys, I gotta have to mute for a sec.
Disneyland. She whipped around. This isn't about socialism, it's about sustainability. Denise deadpan.
Yep, I see your username.
Pick a message. The room devolved into murmurs and confusion. People started flipping through the HOA handbook.
I need you to load up strongest in my private.
Seizure via community reallocation. That's when Karen tried her masterstroke. To ensure legality, I brought a notarized letter of provisional authority. She held up a flimsy printout.
I'm using my demon form.
Martin, the same fake bird-watching.
I can use my other form.
I swear, the audacity could have been used to power a city grid. But that's when the mood shifted. Because
look, I got plenty of forms, and I like to change.
Loafers and tortoiseshell glasses was Elena Vargas, a local attorney who also happened to live 3 houses down from me. She stepped forward, unfolded a file folder, and said calmly,
I only got like certain ones. But that's when I awaken.
And I prepared a few clarifications for the board and for Ms. Delaney. Karen's jaw clicked shut like a mousetrap. Elena handed out copies.
Did you load up my private?
First, she said, Sovereign Drift is privately owned and fully insured. It is docked on private, deeded waterfront property, protected under county zoning law. Second, the HOA does not possess legal authority to claim, lease, redistribute, or administrate privately registered vehicles, waterborne or otherwise. Third, and this is important, any attempt to forcibly access or redistribute such property could constitute theft, trespass, or civil conspiracy.
Man.
Fourth, she glanced at Karen. This proposal isn't just unenforceable. It's
I want to play it because I usually go to private, so...
Karen turned purple. I was trying to expand access. This is about inclusion. Elena raised an eyebrow. Then, perhaps start with a community paddle boat. Fill it out of snoring.
I see your profile, but I can't load up your character.
So loudly echoed. Elena wasn't finished. Additionally, she continued, I've submitted a cease and desist on behalf of my client concerning all attempt to access, film, or manipulate activity on the dock without consent.
Oh my god.
Continued violations will trigger legal action.
I got two people I got another dude watching my thing.
Karen snatched it like it was a snake. But then Elena dropped a bombshell. She turned to the board and said, there's one more detail.
Yeah, I see it. You in my private?
Easement clause. It not only grants my client water access, but defines that access as non-regulable by neighborhood governance.
So I'm gonna have a little fun. Kat, would you like your ult already? Choose your character and I'll give you your ult.
Ever. In perpetuity. The room erupted. In perpetuity, like it was a spell. Denise started.
So you better have because I'm gonna give automatic awakening.
Karen stood, shaky, trying to test, but her words came out in fragmented syllables. This, no, that's fabricated and verified. Already packing up. I'd suggest Ms. Delaney review the paperwork next time before attempting to annex someone's boat. After that, the board moved to strike the proposal.
By the way, there is no cooldown.
She sat frozen, clutching her fake authority letter, like it might suddenly transform into real power. It didn't. The aftermath? Karen got a formal letter from the board demanding all future proposals be reviewed by legal counsel. Elena got a fresh pie from every one. I got 3 official 5 bottles of wine, and a handmade boat signed by a teenager named Riley that read, Property of the People's Republic of Sovereign Drift. It now hangs in gallery window. After the
awakening form, red. Wait, I don't got, so I can spam Aether Slash. That's gonna be annoying. Why do they allow this? Yeah, I gotta switch characters. Can I do so? And I just like. Man, I gotta go to my characters button.
Slide draw. You were good. He thanked me and went off humming some Minecraft soundtrack. Unbeknownst to either,
I gotta reset. Give me a sec.
Tyler left the GoPro recording on a timer, mounted on a little branch by the dock, camouflaged by lake weeds. It clicked on at just the right time, midnight Friday, and caught
I didn't mean to do that. Give awakening.
I loaded the footage on my
No what? No what? Hold, give me a sec.
It was not a beaver. It was Karen. Hoodie. Gloves. Try to pry open the boat cabin. She muttered the entire time. Stupid piece of junk. Think you can show me up?
Activate awakening. I gave you awakening! Too much! I am smacking the crabs in the gut! I gave you your awakening. You better take advantage of it. I did it again! I can't see anything! I did it again! You can't see anything! What have I done? I might have to delete all entities. Where are you at? What are you doing? I gave you awakening again. I'm just repeatedly slamming him into the ground. Smack the crab! I am brutal beating down this crab! What happened to you? Hi. Hey, what's he so cool? Okay, so I want to see something. So equip the bat beam. Equip the bat dude quick.
That name rang a bell.
I'm gonna give us infinite awakening, and I'm gonna give us multiple tries to do this. So I need you to die.
Just make sure the camera's faces die, and not mine. Within 24 hours, Elena Vargas has
So how are you gonna kill you?
email thread and cross-reference the contractor. RS Solutions was not a wildlife consultant or property security company. It was a low-end surveillance outfit specialized.
Oh yeah, before I mention,
Compliance with monitoring for messy divorces and custody cases.
no one kills me like that ever again.
Karen had hired a glorified spy on my property, disguised HOA enforcement, and she admitted it in her own lawsuit. We didn't even have any date.
Okay, I need you to have Bat
She
Demon.
handed us gift-wrapped in legalese and delusion. Elena nearly choked on her coffee bean.
Oh, and sick
This was
avatar.
a lawsuit, she said, and more written depression. At the hearing, Karen waddled in with a neck brace and sunglasses.
It's I don't know if it's called Brutal Bat, I think.
And needed protection from the vitriolic energy of
I forgot what it's called, honestly.
The judge, clearly unimpressed, asked for clarification. Karen said, and I quote, "There's something in the way the boat
Okay.
that targets me specifically." Across the courtroom, the jury four-person laughed. Audibly, the judge banged a gavel.
Okay, make sure I have Brutal Bat equipped.
Then it was Elena's turn. She brought out the emails, displayed them line by glorious line on the screen, showed the contractor invoice, billed to Karen's personal PayPal. Then she dropped the hammer. Your Honor, not only is this suit frivolous,
So now I should have it forever, right?
That's not witchcraft, Grandma. That's
Adios, míos, Goku, goodbye.
Steve brought ribs. Bill toasted. To emotional distress, May Karen continued to experience just enough to leave us alone. I went home, opened a bottle of wine, and added another frame to the cabinet wall. This one displaying exhibit D on the heading. Things you should include in your own lawsuit. After her lawsuit collapsed harder than a stock, most rational people would have retreated to obscurity, maybe taken a bird watching or a quiet adult coloring book hobby. But Karen, she reemerged with vengeance and a clipboard full of legislative chaos. Her next move, a community-wide referendum, titled with all the subtlety of Villain's final act, the Clean Water Quiet Life Ordinance. At first glance, it looked almost noble. It promised a return to tranquil shoreline experiences, noise-free recreational zone, and reduction in aquatic vehicular congestion. A very deep defined frame. Page 4, paragraph 12, subsection 1. All watercraft. All boats that didn't qualify as glorified bathtubs, including Sovereign Drift, including her own son-in-law's fishing skiff, including, hilariously, her paddle boat, which, due to its reinforced storage, ordinance was so packed that folks brought lawn chairs. Karen felt like she was presenting a U.S. rescue. This is the Serenity. We deserve to hear birds, not the She pulled out a slideshow, complete with stock images of meditating retirees, and a dolphin for some reason. We live in a freshwater lake, Karen. We are at war with noise, she declared. Are you aware that this includes jet skis? Karen, sacrifices must be made for peace. Bill, would it include the paddle boat? Karen, absolutely not. That's a vessel of common recreation. Denise flipped the page.
Let's see how good Sub-Zero does.
Your paddle boat is 13.5. You'd be the first one. Karen blinked. That's ridiculous. Steve, we're back.
Wait, it can give it to her as well?
It's huge. Karen, this is a smear campaign. But then came the nuclear twist. As the board was being Elena. To require amendment to HOA bylaws regarding property use. And to do that, you must reference explicitly the community plat map. Karen had indeed cited the plat map, but incorrectly. In trying to zone out the classified as undeveloped. Shoreline green space.
Sub-Zero is very OP, though.
Not easy to be both banned. Qualified for her home officially introduce legal documents that misrepresent your land use. That zoning fraud is applied. Karen's funds the crowd. I was trying to help you. This ordinance was for all of us. Tyler, once again, MVP. The board motioned to kill the proposal on the spot. No one seconded it. Because Denise did first loudly while laughing. Karen stood alone in front of you, surrounded by charts, outdated plats, and a dolphin slide no one could explain. But the fallout didn't end there. The county zoning office got wind of the mess after a board member flagged the document for public record review. And when they did, they noticed Karen's property taxes hadn't been updated in 5 years. Because she never properly filed a post-renovation reassessment for the lakefront. Not only did the board backfire, Karen's next man rejection letter. Fine, unnoticed that her zoning spending and after retirement card from someone anonymous at the time. After that, Karen went radio silent. The paddle boat disappeared. The pergola was dismantled for 2 weeks.
Like good, G. Hope you got a nice haircut.
Karen should have been done. The lesser chaos engine would have folded quietly into the tall grass. But Karen? No. Karen hit a new gear immediately. 2 weeks of eerie silence ended with flyers.
I'm gonna punch her into
Glossy,
the ice thing
full-color,
again.
tri-fold flyers, taped to mailboxes, wedged in screen doors, plastered to the community bulletin board with glitter tape. The header, proclaiming silver tagline beneath, a bold vision for a better lake. I snorted cereal when I read it. Karen, now styling herself as interim director of media alignment, had decided to start her own competing HOA. Yes, really. Her flyer proposed a values-based alternative organization that promised ethical leadership, non-voting tranquility, and morally sound yard decor. Take that, Martha's Gnomes. Her pitch was wild. No dues, just suggested lifestyle contributions. An advisory circle of vetted residents. No name. Just circle. Briefly cults. Wait, this is a shadow HOA. What the hell? But the real kicker came when she filed paperwork with the county, trying to register SBNIC as a non-profit community council. And here's where she really stepped on a rake to get county recognition. 25% neighborhood support. She attached one of them was Thompson, who had passed away 3 years ago, and whose house was currently owned by a perfectly alive couple who were well known to stage for Karen's HOA shenanigans. The moment they saw his name on the list, they contacted the real HOA and Elena at this point had a Karen quickly pulled the sticker report online. She did her thing. Checked the records of the my personal favorite, a mock-in next to tired. The rules are made up, and the neighbors don't count. Karen tried to claim she was tricked into using an old petition form from community beautification efforts. But Elena emailed timestamps out, showing Karen sent PDF signed, titled, and signed. Final petition confidential.
Combine reversal blue. Purple.
Red Bull, her HOA, her fake shadow.
Fall.
Editor Earl J. Thompson, her zoning rights still being reviewed in county limbo. But rather than reflect or retreat, she made the boldest move yet. Karen Delaney announced she was running for town. I know.
I'm a bit bored. I want some
like
dummies.
Unsolicited glitter bombs, oversized postcards with airbrush headshots, and the slogan: "Restore civility, reclaim."
I'll line them up like a train. And we're
Re-elect
gonna snipe them all at once.
Re-elect. She'd never been on council.
That should be enough.
I guess her logic was, if I shout enough about it, will let me near real power. She dreams of fervent authoritarianism. Re-establish. What is it? Boys and sent ordinances. My fish tacos. Crack down on unregistered watercraft. Yes.
Crush.
Debate for all candidates. Karen somehow got invited. The event was live streamed and Cruz, famous for her no BS style and selective
The blue, then the red. Oh, good night.
her opponent. Quiet, not as light.
know what?
Roger Klein mostly sipped water and waited. Then Danica said the word. Ms. Delaney, can you address recent concerns regarding your role in HOA-related legal disputes, including a dismissal?
I don't know the max of these guys, but I'm gonna spawn all of these.
And a failed attempt to register a second homeowners association using the ceased residence. Karen's face lost 80% of its color. Lakefront was under siege. Roger Klein moved forward. Did you mean you broke into your neighbor's boat with a bag of fish guts?
There's an average amount.
Karen tried. While wearing gloves and pouring organic matter into a cabin, the live stream chat exploded. Aquatic abuse rock album. She poured some in the guy's cabin. How is she a candidate? Then Danica, smiling like a lion, said, "One last question, Ms. Delaney. Sipping water again. So you're running for office in my house that doesn't technically exist?" Karen whispered, shouting, "It exists. It's just in reassessment." Danica politely, "Thank you. That concludes our candidate forum." The next morning, clips from the town hall were everywhere. Reddit. Karen gets torpedoed on live TV. Twitter, sorry. X.
Welcome in, Jupiter.
Candidate suggests Lake is under siege. Realizes her house doesn't legally exist. YouTube. Karen Delaney's flooding it down. Full debate, no ads. Her poll numbers tank faster than her record. Within 48 hours, she pulled out of the race but tweeted. The internet translation as public humiliation levels reached terminal velocity.
Just gonna erase all of
Roger
them.
Klein sent a thank you food basket to Elena, who promptly donated to food.
Sorry. Try me! Try me, gods! I am the only god here!
It was almost peaceful. Too peaceful. Website appears on the web directly. The title was
Disarm!
Silver Pines Tree.
I wonder, can I access my menu and just straight to go?
It looked like some 2006 HTML template, complete with Comic Sans. Content? Oh, it was vintage Karen. How HOA tyranny silenced my vision. The real reason my vote was targeted, spoiler, class warfare. Dead men tell no tales, but they still vote in HOA elections, exposing the fishy secrets of Lake Mafia, which somehow meant me. The blog painted a sprawling, paranoid narrative. I was secretly profiting off a black market boat rental empire. Even Carol, her former clipboard henchwoman, who had defected and was now serving penance by organizing bake sales. Worse, Karen made verifiably false claims about us. She accused Elena of falsifying her legal credentials, said I had bribed the local zoning board, claimed Denise once embezzled HOA funds by an authorized lawn flamingo. All of it, of course, was fiction. But fiction stated as fact, that's defamation.
もう冤罪だ。 KJ の20の方。5機。死ね。停戦爆弾。構わぬ。好きなだけ近づいてこい。ただし、これが最後だ。
Oh, well, never mind. Honestly, I thought...
Karen tried to rehost a YouTube domain called TruthDeep.biz, but that too was taken down within hours. The best part? When the went public, local media...
構わぬ。好きなだけ近づいてこい。ただし、これが最後だ。これが最後だ。 近づいてこい。ただし、これが最後だ。
Airstrike inbound. He's like the most failed attempt to use this. Fine! Hey, hit midair!
Bad decision. No, she lingered, like inspired. But her reign was over. The loss
Yeet!
and stacked higher than property taxes she still hadn't paid since the paddle boat pergola incident. And that, my friends, was the final nail. It's
Don't let her hit me.
From the county tax office, public record, posted on the community board by a very small notice of delinquent tax lien. Property subject.
Cat lover over here.
Karen hadn't paid back
Punch me.
taxes on her property since she challenged her zoning status and lost. She delayed, appealed, bluffed, then ignored every final notice. Now that
構わぬ。好きなだけ近づいてこい。好きなだけ近づいてこい。これが最後だ。これが最後だ。
By the way, good luck.
KJ の20年間。
They already killed me, but how?
Shit.
really involved
だけ近づいてこい。ただしこれが最後だ。形状20の型。5機死ね。これで終わりだからだ。形状21。厳重な作品。時々あの日を経験していなかった。お前はどうなったか考えることがある。
Yeah, finish up final one in style.
ただしこれが最後だ。
The crowd's in the ground. This is the final kill, and we're ending off.
It started.
I want to call like one crab, but I want to do something demonic to it.
Violation, unauthorized water usage, $500 fine. I laughed at first because who finds someone for
Where's he at? Oh, there he is.
もううんざりだ。
You dare get in my way. So, good night. We're having crab tonight. Oh, that calls